Welcome everyone to another episode of Mere Finance. We are back in our regular schedule. Today we're going to talk about the housing market, how new home sales and the builder sentiment are actually shaping the US economy, and how as an investor we can take advantage of this. So don't forget to subscribe. Let's start. So of course we know the housing market. It's a critical sector in the US economy because it directly affects or works together with banking, construction, and real estate industries. Real estate in everything related not only to asset management, property management, but also valuations, analytics, prepayment speeds, defense, closing deals, investment banking, creating all the aspect. That's part of real estate, We also have the construction sector. It's actually the building of the houses, which requires a lot of inputs, raw materials, and also banking, of course, because you need financing for all of those activities. So housing really affects those three industries. And we always have to look at the financing part, because the financing part provides a sentiment that makes us think, okay, there's going to be more construction or more housing, because housing is probably the best and only investment a lot of people do in their lives. So it has a high correlation of how the whole economy is doing. So if you look at the Freddie Mac primary mortgage market survey, you can see that we touched the highest year-to-date mortgage, 30-year mortgage rate, 6.81. Actually touched 7.08 at some time this week. And if you see, as we predicted in one of our past videos, the spreads between the 10-year treasury and the 30-year mortgage rate is around 200 bips. So we saw that in October, here where we circled it is the highest there. And we're highly getting close to those same metrics. So mortgage rates are up, and because of this you can see mortgage applications down 4.4% month over month, refi down 4%, and new purchases down 4.6%. So higher financing costs. How is that going to affect the whole market? Well, it's going to affect it not only because it's going to be more expensive to buy. It also makes people, when they want to buy a house, to have less disposable income, or they need a higher income to buy houses. So actually it affects really the easiness of buying a house. But we also see historically, like look what we saw, that for the last 5 years we saw really accommodated policy, and in 2020 and 2021 we saw mortgage rates in the 2% to 3% range. So it's 400 bips or 4% less than the current mortgage market. So why will people sell? If there are higher prices out there, say you buy a house in 2020, you bought a house in 2020, why would you sell? If you want to buy a new house, the prices are higher, but also the financing cost is way higher. So there is no incentive to buy a new house and sell your current one, because you're actually paying a 3%, 4% mortgage rates, very comfortable. Why exchange that for another property that is higher in price, but now you have to pay 300 bips more in financing costs? So it doesn't make sense. People are not selling. And I always said, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So who is going to benefit from that? Well, of course, new builders. If you can see here, for example, new one-family homes for sale in the United States since the beginning of the year, going down and down and down. And actually last month we touched negative percentage. As you can see, also new privately owned housing units started. It went out the roof this last month, 21%. You can see all the way on the right. It's kind of comparable to the beginning of 2021, to the end of 2020, and to the end of 2016. But it's very abnormal. which then makes sense. Like all of our data is making sense. Sales are going down, but housing starts are going up because of mortgage rates going up. And then who is benefiting from this? Who is benefiting from this? Well, of course, the home builders. The S&P 500, the orange line, up 14.57% year to date. And look at all the home builders, the Toll Brothers, the Putmans, the Lennar Homes, the DHI. You can also see the XHB, the red line, and the ITV, which is the iShare for housing market, all outperforming the S&P 500 by almost like double. Even Putman, 64%, that's 50% in outperformance. However, seems like last week, because as we can see, housing units started, so of course, that means like less housing starts will be in the future, right? So that might be priced in. Mortgage rates went up. So then, as we can see here, housing starts month over month is 21.72% compared to negative 2.9 last month and negative 14.4 last year. So this is higher than the long-term average of 0.34%. So very abnormal. And last week, I think the market saw this and was aware that some profit taking is needed, that this trend might not continue. So we saw all of the S&P 500 went down 76 pips, but all of the home builders went down from 2% to 6% profit taking. And also maybe the market realizing, okay, all these new houses starts are there, probably won't see same percentage increase. So now the home builders prices are probably overvalued. So let's take some. But what is our view in the market? Because we always have to talk in a macro level. What's the Fed intent? Is to keep rates higher for longer. And I think the higher for longer will bring more unemployment. As unemployment rises, rental income drops. As rental income drops, it also makes it harder for houses to hold the same price, because as we spoke before, see $1 million house, you need, 20% down payment and certain amount of income. If unemployment rises, less and less people qualify for that $1 million house. So then your price has to go down. And also the supply of new available homes for sale will be released. So once all of these three factors happen, I think we're going to see a housing market at least not go down to levels that we saw 10 years ago, but it would be corrected. But for now, I don't think home builders are a good way to be, because I think it's already priced, the valuations are high. We are not totally against them. We just don't touch them because I think we saw like the opportunity is already gone. So let us know what you think, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe again, and we'll see you next week in another episode of Mere Finance.